Hi, in this video we'll be talking about the counter function from the collections module. The function returns a counter object that can be easily converted to a dictionary. The function counts the occurrences of identical items in a list and sorts them from greatest to least. We get unique items as keys and the numbers of their occurrences as values. First, let's import the counter function from the collections module. From collections, import counter. And now let's create a list of names. Here we are. Let's create a counter object now. Let's call it stats equals counter, and let's pass our names list as an argument. Now we can view the counter object. It's very much like a dictionary. So let's print it out. Yeah. But actually it's not a dictionary, it's a counter object. So let's use the type function to confirm this. Type of stats is collections.counter. We can check how many times a particular item occurs in the list. We use the counter object with a key. So for example, m equals stats and the key is Mary. Let's have a look. We have Mary here and here it's 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, let's print m, it's 4. Exactly. If an element doesn't occur in the list, we don't get an error. Instead, we get the actual number of occurrences, which is 0. For example, b equals stats Betty. And b is 0 because we don't have Betty in the list. We can manually change the number of occurrences. Let's say we want the name Joe to occur 5 times instead of 2. Here we have Joe, Joe 2, and we want the name to occur 5 times. So, stats with the key Joe is now manually being set to 5. Now the name indeed occurs 5 times. Let's see, stats. Here we are, Joe 5 times. If we set the number of occurrences to 0, the item will still be contained in a counter object. So let's set the name of the occurrences of the name Steve to 0. Stats Steve equals 0. Let's print stats. As we can see, Steve is still here, but the number now is 0. If we don't need it anymore, we can delete it using the del statement, like this. Del stats with the key Steve. And now, if we print stats, Steve is no longer here. We can convert the counter object to a list using the elements method. The elements will be sorted by the number of occurrences from greatest to least. So, let's do it like so. Updated names equals list stats elements. Now let's print updated names. So, as we can see, we now get Joe 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because these elements are sorted from greatest to least, from the greatest number of occurrences to the least number of occurrences. Then we have the most common function. Using the most common function, we can find the elements that occur the most. We can specify how many elements we need. let's find the two most popular names. So let's call it top 2 names equals stats most common, and we need 2. And let's print top 2 names. We got Joe and Mary. These are the names with the top numbers of occurrences, 5 and 4 respectively. So we get a list of 2 tuples. We have a 2 tuple, and they are enclosed in a list. Let's now find the most popular name, so the one and only most popular name. Let's call it top name equals stats most common 1. And let's print the top name. It's Joe 5 times. And now let's create another list and create a counter object from it. So here we have a list of German names: Dieter, Hans, Ilse, Hans, Ilse, Ilse. So let's create a counter object. Stats DE, it's from Deutsch, German, equals counter German names. We can add counter objects. Let's add the 2 we have, the stats counter object we created before and the stats DE counter object we created just now. So all stats equals stats plus stats DE. The resulting counter object contains all the elements from both original counters. So let's print all stats. As we can see, we have Joe, Mary, Ilse, Luke, Hans, and Dieter. So all the names from stats and stats DE. We can also subtract counter objects. Let's remove the German names from all names. Then we'll be left with just the English names. So stats ENG for English equals all stats minus stats DE. Now let's print them out. Stats ENG, Joe, Mary, and Luke. So the German names are gone. If we need a regular dictionary, we can use the dict function along with the items method on the counter object. So suppose we need a dictionary of English names. We can do it like so. Dict stats ENG items, and what we get is just a regular dictionary. Okay, that's it for this video. If you like it, a thumbs up would be great. Also, make sure to subscribe for future videos. If you want to leave a comment or ask a question, you're welcome to do so. Thanks for watching.